Hey guys, it's Georgianne Bell from LilaLoa. Let's get started on your gingerbread house. To begin with, print out the Royal Icing Transfer PDF that's included with the kit. You should have received it as an email. Once printed, place the paper inside a sheet protector. Make the icing as directed on the packaging and color according to the directions in the kit. Place the icing in the disposable bags. Cut the bags with the seam side up to create a round hole. With the PDF inside the sheet protector, you're now ready to make the royal icing transfers. Trace over the top of each image with the appropriate colored icing. Fill in immediately so it creates a smooth surface. This will take some time. Feel free to listen to your favorite Christmas music while you're doing it. Again, outline and fill each of the shapes one at a time. Use a 6-slit on the door for the doorknob. Once you've piped over the top of all the shapes, let the royal icing transfers dry for at least 8 to 12 hours. Once they are completely dry, use a very thin knife and gently slide it between the royal icing transfer and the sheet protector. If one of the sides doesn't give way easily, just rotate around until you find a side that does. These will be fragile, so treat them gently. Remove all the transfers and set them aside. With the stiff white icing, spread it across the front of the gingerbread house. I just used a regular butter knife here. You could also use a palette knife or a spatula. I get kind of fiddly about this, but it really just, you want the icing to go all the way to the edges and to be covered in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to add more texture in just a minute. Once it's completely covered with that thick white icing, use your scribe tool at kind of a horizontal angle and drag through to create horizontal lines. Start at the top and work your way to the bottom. Then draw vertical lines through to create a brick-like texture. You could also make these vertical lines further apart to create more of a wood planking look. Continue to add the vertical lines all the way down to the base of the cookie. While the icing is still somewhat wet, gently press the royal icing transfers into the surface of the icing. After placing the door on the icing, I smoothed it out a little bit so that it didn't look like it was brick, but more of a window in the door. Add windows on either side of the door and gumdrops at the bottom. With your medium consistency red icing, pipe a big fat zigzag across the top of the door. Add snow to the top of the windows with the white icing, and then gently spread some of the sanding sugar onto that fresh white icing. Try to avoid getting it on the red piped line. Tilt the cookie up and shake the excess sugar off. We're going to repeat this same process with the back side of the house as well as the sides of the house. So again, cover the back side with icing and then draw horizontal lines with the scribe tool. Alternatively, You can also use the flat side of a butter knife to make those lines in the icing. If you find you've made a mistake when creating these lines, it's okay. Just smooth it out gently and try again. When you are putting the royal icing transfers onto this white icing, if you find that one of them breaks when pressing down, just gently push the royal icing transfer together and back into the icing. The white icing underneath will hold the transfer together. Decorate the back side of the house however you wish. I chose to put gumdrops at the bottom and again pipe a squiggly line across the center. Decorate the sides of the house in a similar manner. Let each of these pieces dry for about 15 to 20 minutes before attempting to assemble the house. For the roof pieces, I started with a blue icing, outlined the top and made kind of a squiggly bottom barrier, and then filled in that space in the center. Smoothed it out and then let it dry for about 10 minutes before I added the next color. When you pipe squiggly lines like this, there's no real wrong or right way to do it. Again, let the icing dry for 10 or 15 minutes between each color. Alternatively, you could use the pattern on the rooftop to create a colorful tile work on the roof. When you're ready to put the house together, pipe some of the thick white icing onto the bottom of the front piece of the house. Gently press it into the cardboard round. And put icing on the bottom and side edges of one of the side pieces. Press it firmly into the cardboard round and against the front piece. These two pieces should be able to hold each other up. Put the thick icing on both sides and the bottom of it, the opposite side of the house as well. And put icing on the back along the sides and bottom of the back piece. Gently press all the pieces together and remove excess icing. Add thick white icing to the right side of the house and then attach one of the roof pieces. bowl of rice or a jar of spices under the roof piece to help the roof piece stay up while the icing is drying. Pipe icing along the left side of the house and across the top of the roof piece that you just placed on the house. Add the remaining roof piece. Gently push together and remove excess icing. Again, add something heavy below the roof to keep it from sliding while it's drying. Allow the house to dry for 30 minutes to an hour. Once it's completely dry, pipe a zigzag across the roof of the house and then add some white nonpareils while the icing is still wet. Pipe a white zigzag of icing across all the open seams to give your gingerbread house a more finished look. Decorate the white round with all your leftover icing in whatever way makes you happy.